Welcome back to Higher Hertz. My name is Alexis here with another violin lesson video for you guys. And today we are going to be going over how to play the 3 easiest scales and arpeggios on your violin. So today we're going to be learning how to play A major, D major, and G major. And there will be an extra little bonus if you're doing super awesome with G major, which we'll show you towards the end. Okay, so let's get started. Starting with A major, all of these scales and arpeggios are going to start on the open strings of your violin. So if you're not already familiar which strings those are, A is your second string right here. E is going to be the highest one, but we don't need to worry about playing a scale on there yet. D is over here, and G is the lowest string. Okay. If you don't already also have tapes on your violin and you're just getting started, you may want to go into your local violin shop and ask them to play some. That way you'll know where your fingers go if you're not familiar yet with what the notes sound like. Otherwise, I know that there are stickers that can go over the entire fingerboard and that you can buy online. Okay, so starting with A major. A major is going to start on your open A string. And just so that you'll be able to see a little bit better, I'm going to turn like this so that you can see me placing each finger as we go along. Okay, so A major, we're going to start with our open A string. Got to tighten my bow here. Okay, so A major, we start with our open A string. First finger is going to be B. And then we're going to have what we call high 2, which is going to be a bit of a space from first finger, but it'll be really close to third finger. And you'll learn later that we also sometimes do low second finger. So high 2 is going to be C sharp, D is third finger. Now if you're feeling super awesome and you want to go for fourth finger, you can. Otherwise, you can play the open E string instead. So we have fourth finger E, or you can do open E string. F sharp, which is the same right across from where B was. It's the same place on the E string. G sharp, which is going to be high 2. And then third finger A. So we've reached the top of our scale now. So if you were wanting to check, you can play that third finger A, and you can check it against open A string. And they should be the same note. Going back down, G sharp second finger, F sharp 1, open E or fourth finger, D is third finger, C sharp second finger, B is first finger, and then open A string. Speeding that up, it's going to look and sound like this. Awesome. So that's our A major scale. Now what's super awesome is that D major and G major scales are going to be the exact same finger patterns, but you're just going to start them on the lower string. So just to demonstrate, if we were to go over to D string, we'll play open D. 1 is E, F sharp, high 2, G is 3, A, open, or fourth finger, B is 1, over on the A string now, C sharp, high 2, D is 3. And now that we're at the top of our scale, we can test that against our open D string. Perfect. Going back down, we have C sharp, high 2, B is 1, open A or fourth finger, G is 3, F sharp, high 2, first finger is E, and then we have open D string. Speeding that up. Awesome. So that's D major. So the last one that we're going to demonstrate is G major. With G major, it's also going to just start on our open G string, same finger pattern. And when we get to the top note, I'm going to show you how you can go even higher with this scale without having to shift into a higher position. So starting with open G, A is first finger, B is high 2, C is 3, fourth finger or open string for D, E is first finger over on the D string now, F sharp, high 2, G, third finger. And we'll test that against our open G string to see if it's the same note. Yay! Okay, so now we're gonna stay here for a second on third finger on the D string. And I'm gonna show you how to get over to 1 G higher by playing a little bit of different finger pattern. It's not too different, but I think you can do it. Okay, so we're gonna start with our third finger on the D string, so that's G. You can do fourth finger or open A. First finger on the A string. And now we've been doing a high 2 every time, but this time we're going to bring our second finger back towards our first finger. And that's going to be a C natural instead of a C sharp like we were familiar with on the A major scale. So we have low 2 C. D is third finger. You can do fourth finger or open E. And now we're over on the E string. So F sharp is going to be first finger. And then we're going to do another low second finger. So that means it's going to be right next to our first finger here for our G natural. Now you can't test this G because we're at the top G. We can't test it against an open string, but you still can reference it if it helps you just learning those notes. So we have G, and then our very lowest string is G, testing it again. Great, so we're at G. So going back down, we have our low 2 G, F sharp is 1, open E or fourth finger, D is 3, we're going to have low 2 or C natural, B is 1, you can do open A or fourth finger, G is third finger. So now we're back to the highest note for that low 1 octave G major scale. So let's just keep going the rest of the way down and then we'll speed it all up. F sharp is 2, E is 1, open D or fourth finger, C is 3, B is 2, A is 1, and G is open string. So going all the way up, our G and D string are going to have those high 2s, and then when we get over to the A string and the E string, they're going to have the low second fingers. So speeding up, G major 2 octave scale. Low 2. Awesome. So that is a 2 octave G major scale. Next up, we're going to go over how to play some arpeggios on the violin, and we're going to do them for the A, D, and G major scales that we just learned. So the arpeggios are going to be parts of the scales that we just learned. It's going to be the first note, the third note, fifth note, and that high note, the eighth note, which is the same note as the first note that you play in the scale. So for A major, we're going to play A, C sharp, which is going to be high 2 on the A, and then E string. And then we'll play that third finger on the E string, which means A. So we can test that against the open A string. So to demonstrate that, play open A, C sharp is high 2, open E is our fifth note, and then third finger A. So we can always test that A against our open A string. Yay! Okay, going back down, we have A, open E, C sharp on the A string, high 2, open A. Speeding that up, our A major arpeggio looks like this. Awesome. Over for D major arpeggio, it's going to be the exact same finger pattern, but the notes are going to be D, F sharp, which is the third note, open A, our fourth finger, and then D. So we have open D, F sharp is our high 2, open A, third finger D, open A is going back down, F sharp, which is our high 2 on the D string, and then open D. Speeding that up, our D major arpeggio looks like this. Awesome. So the last one is going to be our G major arpeggio. And as you remember from before, you can always just play that low 1 octave. But if you really want to go above and beyond, you can play going up 1 octave higher, which is going to have the same note names but different finger pattern. So starting off, we're going to have G, B, D. Those are going to be our 3 main notes for the G major arpeggio. So we have open G string, B, high 2, open D, third finger G. So we're at that top of the low octave 1 G major arpeggio. So going up now, we're going to also play B, which is going to be our first finger on the A string. So we'll go from G, B is first finger on the A string, D is third finger on the A string, and we're going to hit that low 2 on the E string. So we have low 2, G. Going back down, D, B is first finger, G is third finger on the D string, open D, B is high 2 on the G string, and then open G string. So if we're going to speed up our G major arpeggio for 2 octaves, it's going to sound like this. So now we've learned how to do A major, D major, 2 octave G major scales, and we've also learned how to do our A major, D major, G major 2 octave arpeggios. Awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for learning those scales and arpeggios. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. It always helps me be a better teacher for you guys to know what questions or concerns you might have. Thanks so much for watching. This is a production with Higher Hertz. My name is Alexis, and I'll see you guys next time.